The Patrick Riggins Show. Call in now, 865-243-TALK. That's 243-8255. And now your host, Patrick Riggins.
Reaching back into the early 90s for intro music this week. This is the Patrick Riggins Show. Here on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network, your one-stop source for analysis of the issues from the standpoint of American freedom and liberty. Not liberal freedom and liberty, not conservative freedom and liberty, but American freedom and liberty. Helping to spread the word far and wide is the 100,000-watt radio station right here in Knoxville, Tennessee, WNOX FM 100.3. We are reaching 5 southeastern states and 2 time zones with our message of freedom. But you don't have to rely on just this station. The Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network is growing far and wide as the more radio stations sign on to its message of original American thinking, that of freedom and liberty, and a severe lack of governmental intrusion. We are also on the internet if you'd rather tune in there. Just go to the radio station's website at www.wnoxfm.com. There you can watch and listen to the video and audio simulcast of this show, courtesy of the in-studio webcam here at the luxurious and well-appointed studios of WNOX. That would be Tori. That website address again for the simulcast is wnoxfm.com. And as you saw peeking into the webcam, that was Tori, the Sunday show's studio producer.
What's up?
Enjoying the Arby's today. Usually I bring him Wendy's, and brought him an Arby's, and it's a happy camper.
Yeah, bless his heart, Patrick always brings me in a little sandwich. I've been here since, 11, and...
Get a little hungry.
Yeah. Thank you. It's always good.
So, band had a gig Friday?
Yeah, we played down... Excuse me, that's the Arby's. We played down at Union Place in the Old City. Didn't really have a great turnout, but I mean the club is a really nice place. It's brand new, so it's really cool. But you know, for the few that did come out, thank you.
And you have another one coming up, correct?
Yeah, with the Beat Club, which is formerly the Invaders. It's now the Beat Club. We are playing at the Crown and Goose St. Patrick's Day weekend. We'll be playing there Saturday night from like 9 till probably close, 9 till 2. And Sunday, St. Patrick's Day, we're going on at 6 till 9:30 at the Crown and Goose.
And the Beat Club is the British
Invasion tribute, yes. Which we do all kinds of British stuff. And some American stuff too, but mostly Rolling Stones, Beatles, the Kinks.
So if you've seen Tori on the webcam or heard him on, I guess, just about every Sunday afternoon show, you can actually see him live now on stage beating on drums.
Yes.
Okay.
Doing that, I'm a little more comfortable doing that.
Oh, you do very well here on the radio.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you again to everyone for tuning in this week. You are listening to the fastest growing show of its kind on the radio dial. It's none other than the Patrick Riggins Show. We are providing the ratings jump for the station during this hour. You can actually see the ratings leap from the 2 to 3 p.m. on Sunday afternoons. And personally, I'm convinced it's because the audience that listens to this show realizes what they are hearing. They're getting analysis they are not going to get anywhere else. They're listening to one of the best radio shows in this country today on the best network in this country today. And they can see Tori jump. That network you're listening to, as I mentioned before, would be none other than the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network. We're providing a beacon to those looking for less government and more individual freedom. You know, like we used to have in this country before we had a bunch of busybodies in government wanting to run everyone's lives. Real quickly, what we got? Oh, we got a couple minutes. Real quickly in this first segment, I'd like to mention, I was thinking this week of a good example of the oversupply of the monetary system, and that's what we're having, and a lot of people have kind of a hard time getting their heads around what's going on. But here's a good way you can think about it. What's really happening is, of course, we have too many dollars being printed and circulated, and a good well, not corollary, but a good example of this would be what happens if you have a frequent flyer points reward program or points you get on anything you get on a credit card. When you get these, you may ask, why does it take 500,000 points to fly to another city? It's because the points have gotten to where they're not worth anything. If you take the time to check, you will notice the more activities they give you points on, like going to a certain restaurant or filling up your car or something, the more points they give you, the more points you need in order to redeem for something. And that's what's happening to our monetary system in this country. The government is flooding the economy with dollars, which drives down the value of each dollar and drives up the cost of everything you buy, just like your frequent flyer reward points. All these monetary systems work in the same way. It's really very easy to understand. So when your card issuer says, hey, you get 10,000 points just for signing up or shopping at this store or whatever, and then you wonder why all the reward costs, the little things you want to get, go up that same 10,000 or even more points. Well, what you're seeing is what happens in a monetary system. Now, whether you want to admit this or not, admit if this is what's happening in our country, it really all depends on whether you want to live in a state of denial or not. The interesting thing is when you start warning people about this, everyone starts calling you Chicken Little, saying the sky is falling or some other wacko thing. Exactly, Tori. The evidence is starting to mount up, though. The question is, what are you going to do when the inevitable happens, when the dollar devalues, either through world markets or direct government intervention? What are you going to do then? Beg the government to provide you with whatever it is you cannot afford now? The government's not going to have any money, and printing more isn't going to work anymore. It's like spinning your tires when you're stuck in the snow. Just pouring more power isn't going to work. You're going to have to take a different approach. You're going to have to dig your car out of the ditch. Unfortunately, this is what a lot of us are going to have to do when the dollar takes its inevitable fall. All right, we're up on the first break of the Patrick Regan Show. We have a lot to get to. We're going to talk about, we'll talk about Golden Boy Republican Marco Rubio in a way probably a lot of Republicans don't want to hear. Also talk some about guns and ammo and a couple other things going on this week here on the Patrick Regan Show. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.